February represents a lot of things. Black History Month. It's the month of Valentine's Day, American Heart Month, and you surely must know that February is National Bird Feeding Month. Hello everybody, I'm Mark Thomas and you found Uniquely Bristol. This is the show that highlights small town values and the hidden gems of Bristol, Connecticut. It's brought to you by the Bristol Development Authority, the BDA, in conjunction with our partners, Nutmeg TV. And not only has the month changed, so has our show. I want you to welcome my new co-host, Ani Chakatsbanian. Welcome, Ani.
Hi, I'm excited to be here.
Ani and I work together at the BDA. Ani, you know that most proposals for marriage happen in February. That means somebody's got to plan that wedding.
That's right, Mark. Every little girl dreams of their wedding day, but when it comes down to it, it could become very overwhelming. I've met with several wedding specialists to discuss tips and advice they have to help make your day special. One of the most popular wedding venues in the area is the DoubleTree Hilton in Bristol. The DoubleTree has a team of specialists.
The difference between planning a wedding and planning, say, a corporate event or a small social event is that brides and grooms have been planning this day for a very long time. So much goes into it. Family members are involved, friends are involved, there's a lot at stake. Oftentimes brides and grooms want to compare their wedding to other people's weddings. So it really just is really a stressful event, you know, as a whole, but planning it can also be very stressful and a lot goes into it. So it takes sort of certain people to help the planning and help the executing. So that's sort of one of the biggest reasons why a wedding is very different from, say, a corporate event or something smaller.
So you have a sales team here that helps with wedding planning. Can you just explain to me how that team is structured?
Sure. So initially when brides and grooms come to meet with us and want to know what we have to offer them, they'll meet with a salesperson. On property, her name is Shalane Walters, and she's been with us for a couple of years. She's got a lot of experience, and the importance in her job is that brides and grooms need to trust her and need to feel comfortable with her because they want to feel like they can go to her with questions and concerns and be able to convey what they're thinking and what they're wanting for their special day to someone who they can trust to make it happen. So she's a really important sort of first point of contact person that will lead the bride and groom along the way of all of those little details. And then once the wedding is just about to happen, Shalane passes it over to our banquet manager, whose name is Althea Jones. And she basically brings it to life. So everything that has been discussed and planned and detailed, very specific right down to that napkin color and how they want the table set up and the arrangements, get handed over to Althea, and she is the one that makes it happen. So she, that day, brings it to life and makes sure that all those I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and when the bride walks into that ballroom, it's exactly what she and her now husband have envisioned.
Shalane Walters functions as a wedding planner if you don't have one. A lot of people consider getting a wedding planner. However, that's not always the most feasible option for them. What are some pros and cons of hiring a wedding planner for your wedding?
So a pro for hiring a wedding planner would be that they can help you to plan the whole day as opposed to just a part of it. You know, if you go to a venue, they can only do like the reception or something like that. But a planner will help you to plan the whole day, from your makeup, your breakfast, to your dressing, to all that. So that's a plus. And then they can hunt for bargains for you, and they might have relationships with vendors that will help to lessen your budget, I guess. But as a con, it is that you have to relinquish some control of your wedding and trust that they'll make the best decisions for you. And that's not always a good thing. And also, it costs extra, so, might not want to do it that way.
How do you help make people's weddings special?
I envisioned every wedding as my own. So I think of it as my own, and, I ascertain their vision, and then I try to make it happen. But I don't treat it just like an event or my job. I put myself in the place of that bride, and I make sure they get the best quality.
What are some things that people planning their wedding or starting to plan their wedding should be considering, like a checklist of as they are starting to plan?
Budget. That's the most important thing, because that will, I guess, dictate the way that you go with the venue that you find, the food options that you select, for the decorations that you have.
And how closely do you work with not just the bride and groom, but also the vendors?
So it depends on the amount of control that the bride and groom want to relinquish to me. If they need my help finding a vendor, I will recommend one that I've worked with before and I'm sure of their services. And I do have to coordinate with them. So, I'd have to coordinate with the bakeries, say, what time are you going to drop the cake off? Do you need special arrangements? Or with the flower shops, do you need to refrigerate the flowers? Or with the DJs or the photo booths, to arrange setups and things like that. So I do have to work with the vendors quite a lot. And I do that because I want to alleviate some of the stress that comes with getting married. It's quite stressful.
What are some new trends that are emerging with weddings? People are always trying to make their weddings different and stand out from the next one because people go to so many, so they want theirs to stand out. What are some new trends that you've seen?
There's a lot of new trends, but ones that stand out is mini cakes. So mini bridal cakes, it allows for easier transportation and also for easier storage in the end, because nobody wants to take home a 30-pound cake at the end of the day. So they have mini cakes, and it also allows for individuality and different displays. So instead of having one white cake, you have a red, a white, a green, or something that matches your wedding scheme. I think those are cool.
Weddings are about details. That's where Althea Jones comes in.
Basically, I'm the banquet manager here, and I execute everything. I execute the weddings. I make sure that bride is calm for that day. I make sure that her vision is seen by her guest and by her, so she can just, relax.
So that goes to the point of, a lot of brides get really nervous that everything's going to go wrong, or, they're just constantly nervous that something's, they want everything to be absolutely perfect. How do you help them calm down and really ensure them that it's going to be okay and that you're going to have everything set?
Well, one, I talk to them, and they definitely see my clipboard, and I let them know that it's all about timing, and you have to enjoy this day. You put your thought, you gave me your vision. I let them know they have to trust me. They have to understand that it's like my daughter getting married, and I want the best for my daughter. So you're my family, and that's just it. You got to build that trust between her.
What would you say are the most important factors of the day of the wedding? Like, what are the biggest things that really keep a bride and groom happy?
To look out and see that their guests are enjoying, making sure that food is good, making sure timing is good, making sure they definitely get enough time to party. Because at the end of the day, between the ceremony, between the father dance, the mother dance, when it's time to just relax, you want to make sure they have enough hours to party, with their guests.
What is some advice that you'd give to brides when they're planning the day of and what their vision should be like?
Don't overwhelm yourself. Keep it simple. Sometimes simple is better. And I don't mean don't have a lot of things that you want to execute, but every time you go and look in that bridal book, it's going to be something new there. You have to discipline to yourself and say, okay, enough. Let me just how to incorporate everything here, and don't add to at like the last minute. Because when you add to the last minute, that's when things become awry sometimes.
In all of your years of wedding planning, what are some of your favorite decor themes?
They change all the time. So it's like I keep what I know and I add to it. The trend now is like French service, where they don't want to see all the coffee cups on the table and stuff like that. Or some people prefer having stations, where the guests are more comfortable. It's a more relaxed thing. It's just like I said, it's meeting that vision on how intense you want it. And then you have that formal bride. She wants everything formal. So that's the bread plates, the 4 or 5 glasses, wine service. It's so many different things you can add or you can take away. It depends on her vision.
Do you have any other advice for brides looking that are just starting to plan their weddings?
Give yourself time. I say a good wedding, I would give myself a year.
Flowers are one of the mainstays of every wedding and needs to be one of the first things you plan.
A professional florist has access to a lot more flowers. They'll be able to assist you in getting the right designs and the right flowers, and they'll know exactly what will work. And there's different grades of flowers and there's different types of flowers, and it's just easier, and especially on like colder days or hotter days, they'll know how to handle the flowers and how to keep them fresh for the day.
So many brides want to order flowers that correlate with the season. Is there such thing as seasonal flowers?
There are seasonal flowers. They grow flowers all over, but most of the time they're always available. It's kind of like fruit. Fruit is the best when you have an apple in the fall versus like in the winter. Like these are ranunculus. This is their season. They're gorgeous, but they're also expensive because they're such a small window.
Where do you get your flowers from?
We source them from all around the world. They grow flowers everywhere. Canada, South America, California, Japan. These ones are actually from Italy. The ranunculus are from Italy. The peonies now are from Chile. So everything has a season, but it depends on where they're grown.
How far in advance would you say a couple should meet with a florist when planning their wedding day?
If they have their venue and they have a date, then they should get most of their vendors at that point, whether it's a florist or photographer, anything at that point. That way they have their pick of who they want, and they're not competing with all the other brides who are getting married at the same time.
Budget is always a concern when it comes to details of planning a wedding. What is one thing that you can say couples could do to make their day easier and help them save money?
They can do a lot of rentals. We have a lot of rentals, so they could do, more candlelight, simpler flowers. Like the baby's breath bouquets are a lot simpler than like a regular bouquet. So there's always different ways. So having an open mind and being optimistic and about your flowers is probably your best bet.
What are some current trends you've seen with floral arrangements and decorations during weddings?
A lot of the trends now are like the sequence. For like specialty tables like your sweetheart table or your cake table. We're seeing a lot of the geometric shapes being brought in, a lot of candlelight, custom table numbers and even custom signs to say welcome to our wedding. And then like even simpler florals to kind of make your budget go farther.
And what percentage of a couple's budget should go toward flowers?
They say the average is like 8 to 10, maybe 15%. It really depends on how much you love flowers. Some people, want more, some people want less, but I would say like 10% is probably a good starting point. So these are Italian Cluny ranunculus. They have a short season of maybe like 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes they go into April. Usually like this time of year is their season, end of like January through like the spring. A lot of times brides will see them on Pinterest and want them in like July and August. They're not available and they don't look as good like normally if they're not in season.
Welcome to Bristol. Nestled in the heart of Connecticut, just 2 hours from Boston, New York, and an hour from the shoreline, Bristol offers a unique New England experience.
City size with small town vibe, you'll fit in no matter your pace.
As a community, we're rich with history, overflowing with passion, and ripe with experiences to enjoy. Beyond the rolling hills of Connecticut, that's where you'll find the magic of Bristol.
With an incredible 700 plus acres of park systems,
Inspiring museums and cultural programs, and the oldest operating amusement park in North America.
Our arts and entertainment will color you convinced.
And local food and drink establishments to keep you excited, satisfied, and always savoring more.
Community events that leave a lasting memory.
We really do have it all.
Plus, we're a community that honors the brave.
a community that offers top-tier sports and recreation.
And world-class accommodations to suit every style.
But what if you wanted to stay even longer?
Well, there's neighborhoods to pair with any personality.
And places for all kinds of producers.
Top-rated school systems.
Ways to make an impact.
And plenty of places to worship.
So whether you're vacationing,
Passing through,
or staying a little longer,
bring your heart to Bristol. Our heart is always open to your experiences. Bristol, Connecticut.
All heart.
Learning doesn't stop when you get older. To achieve a better life and security, sometimes you need special training. The Bristol Adult Education Center, located at 210 Redstone, has classes that vary from earning a high school degree to learning English as a second language to even qualifying for a new skill. What exactly is the mission of the program?
Well, it's twofold, really. It's to help area residents with regards to obtaining a high school diploma and to improve their English language skills. And then the other side of the program is the continuing ed, the human interest and stories and events that we offer for folks throughout the community. All of our students come to us voluntarily, and we offer a variety of different services. We actually, in Bristol, we're lucky enough to offer 3 different pathways for high school completion. We have the traditional GED, but we also have the credit diploma program, which is more of a high school class program that meets in the evening. Small groups, usually 10 to 15 students meeting with a teacher. Our most popular subjects are the English and the math. And then we also have the national external diploma, which is really for those individuals currently working who need to obtain their high school diploma, can't get here 3 or 4 days or evenings a week, but still want to work towards that. They work primarily off a computer from home. They come in at prearranged times and meet with an advisor who goes over the work that they're doing, helps guide them through the work that they're doing. And once they've completed a state and national program, a portfolio that's reviewed by someone certified to do that, they can then obtain a high school diploma.
Now, for somebody who doesn't think that's important, there's over 6,000 people in Bristol that don't have their high school education, and we've got over 1,000, almost 1,100 that don't speak English. I think the best part of the programs you were talking about, it's free. So if somebody, if cost is a factor, that really shouldn't be a factor, should it?
No. Everything that we offer on our mandated side, so our high school diploma programs, our citizenship classes, and our English language classes are all free. There is nothing attached to those financially.
The nighttime classes may be what a lot of people think about in continuing education. It's a little bit different. Explain about that program a little bit.
Yes, so the continuing ed classes actually meet in many of the schools throughout the community in the evening. And we offer exercise classes, we offer health classes, we offer technology classes, human interest programs. We have instructors, some that have been with us for years. Some folks will come to us with a new idea and we'll give it a shot. A couple of years ago, we were running a CSI program that ended up attracting folks from all over New England, and come to find out, many of them were writing murder mysteries, and they wanted to know the ins and outs of how CSI program really worked. And it was a detective here in Bristol who was part of that scene, and the class would sell out every time we offer it. And the unique thing with adult ed is it's always changing. We're always learning. So within the last year, we've introduced what we call Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, which is a federal program that we've brought to Bristol to help our students. So it's not just the high school diploma anymore. It's now the high school diploma along with the workforce skills necessary for individuals to go out into the world with that high school diploma and achieve even greater things. I spoke with a group of students earlier today, and we talked about, okay, many of you have jobs now. We're going to help you obtain a career. And that's a huge difference in what we've done in the past. So not only do we have great educators, but we're still learning, we're still students, because what our students need is always changing, so we have to stay on top of that.
Tell us about what the BAEC is doing about manufacturing and forwarding that in Bristol.
So we were lucky enough 3 years ago, with the support of several community organizations, in particular the Chamber and the Main Street Community Foundation, to acquire grants to provide an introduction to manufacturing training program that allows students, while they're working towards their high school diploma, to also attend manufacturing training programs. And we're also lucky enough that Bristol Adult Ed, in fact, rents space from Raleigh Spring and Stamping. So it was literally
right next door,
right next door, right on the other side of these walls is actually the factory floor. And yes, it is the cleanest place you could ever imagine. So we teamed up with Raleigh and with our community supporters, along with manufacturers themselves through NESMA. We were able to create a curriculum that takes our students through approximately 120 hours of classroom training and on-the-job training, where they gain the skills to then, once they've completed the program and acquired their high school diploma, they can go on to obtain an entry-level manufacturing position. And yeah, Bristol is all about manufacturing. Yes, we want as many individuals to go on to a 4-year degree, but it's not the right thing for everybody. So this is another opportunity for Bristol area residents that they can take advantage of. And again, that program, because it was funded by our community partners, completely free.
What's interesting too is I think you talked about manufacturing, but you actually reached out and you found something very interesting about Bristol, about the banking industry. There was a void there.
Correct. Another one of our community partners, Thomas & Savings Bank, was interested in a bank teller training program. And I never realized that at any given time, there are anywhere from 25 to 40 open bank teller positions just in the greater Bristol area. So we collaborated with Thomas & Savings Bank and the Main Street Community Foundation and the Chamber, and we were able to sponsor a bank teller training program for a group of our students, again, completely free, with the help of Thomas & Savings Bank and COCC. We were able to train these folks, get them certified as bank tellers, and get them out and into jobs.
Brian Reardon has come full circle. He began as a teacher, then he left teaching to pursue a career in manufacturing, but now he's back directing workforce studies at the Bristol Adult Education Center.
The workforce coordinator position here at Bristol Adult Ed is kind of unique because we do have a lot of area businesses that we try to filter our students to. The adult education student not only is trying to get a GED or a high school equivalency, they're also looking to better their lives. And who better to do that than somebody that has the inside track and can offer the students the opportunity to, number one, assess where they are in their life today, and also gear their education towards a career plan as opposed to just a piece of paper. So that's a big part of what we do here, which is quite unique.
What are some of the examples of those? I know that you found out that there was a bunch of bank teller positions open. What are some of the other ones that somebody would be able to come out to the BAEC and learn something?
Well, currently, you know, I mean, in this area, actually in the state of Connecticut, we have some target industries that are just hurting for employees, and we're trying to match the skills to what the employers are actually looking for. So the hot markets are construction, retail, manufacturing, and medical. And a lot of our students are interested in those fields, but they have no understanding as to what it entails. So we kind of bridge the gap between, you know, the basic academic education and what a career kind of looks like in these different areas. And we do a variety of different activities through the course of the school year. And we try to get them thinking and planning ahead and paving a way for them to move into some of these good-paying Connecticut jobs.
Well, we're at the first of 2018. If people want to know more, how can they register? There's a lot of different ways to register and get in the program, isn't it?
The easiest way is to call us. But if they want to know more about the programs that we offer, we have a very vibrant website that they can go to. If you go to the Board of Ed's website, there is a link right there to our Adult Ed website that talks about our programs, talked about some of the programs that we offer off-site as well. They can register by coming in, and we still do paper registration, so we need folks to come in and paper register. We also assess them because, again, different folks are coming in with different skills. This is not like traditional high school where you're going to come in and spend 4 years with us. We will give them an assessment when they come in that will tell us their strengths and weaknesses, and we will gear their education specifically toward those strengths and weaknesses. So we're not going to reteach them things that they already know. We're going to teach them things that they need to know in order to progress and move on. So I always tell our students, you know, we want you in and out as quickly as possible. We don't want to hold you here any longer than necessary because we know that you're busy adults that have important things to get on to with your life.
That's it for this month's Uniquely Bristol. We hope you enjoyed the show. You made it. You did a great job. Did you have a little fun at least?
I did. I can't wait for next month's episode. We do this for you. If you have any ideas, you can send them to marketing@bristolct.gov.
And if you want to know more about Bristol, Our website is www.bristolalheart.com. We're also on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Until next month, so long.